ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to VFG Movie Reviews with your host, Tim Williams. How's it going, guys? Welcome to VFG Movie Reviews, and this is my review for A24's Iron Claw. Now, usually, I do just brief over all the characters, kind of give you my thoughts on it, but I have to point something out, and this is a nitpick on my behalf, and just because I am a wrestling fan, and this is definitely a movie that I enjoyed because I've heard this story multiple times, and I'm going to give you my insight into the story on top of what A24 did. Aaron Dean Eisenberg, the man who played Ric Flair in this movie, I can only imagine practicing for the role, watching old reviews, and then he went, I'm going to throw all that out and do a complete parody of the character that I'm going to. It was a laughable portray of Ric Flair. It would be more in line of a parody. Somebody making fun of who Ric Flair is. But people who make fun of who Ric Flair is still do a good Ric Flair. Which is the problem with this. And like I said, this is a nitpick. It was just horribly bad. Horribly bad. That's all I'm going to talk about of it. I'm not going to keep going into it because it's just bad. But this guy played the worst Ric Flair ever. All right, we're done with that one. Now, let's talk about this movie. I have heard the Von Erich's family story since I was a little person. I've seen the Von Erichs wrestle. They did spots in the AWA that were here in Las Vegas a couple of times, and it is such an interesting look into the dynamic of this family. And yes, the wrestling plays a key aspect into it, but this movie is about these brothers, about this father, and about growing up in a lifestyle that's hard. Being a professional wrestler is not an easy task whatsoever. It is something you dedicate your life to, and if you're not good at it or even slightly decent, you are never going to get anywhere in professional wrestling. I personally think in this movie that they really downplay how much of a not good person Fritz Von Erich is. And Holt McCallway playing Fritz Von Erich. I think he did a great job, but it definitely doesn't show how just brutal the stories of Fritz was. If you guys want a little more of a glimpse into the Von Erich story that goes a little bit deeper and goes a little bit hard, Dark Side of Wrestling, I believe it was season 1 or season 2, go watch that story and you'll see exactly what I mean. We have Zac Efron playing Kevin Von Erich, who is the last living original Von Erich sons, and he currently just did a little bit in AEW. We have Jeremy Allen White playing Kerry Von Erich, the Texas Tornado, who I think he really did embody that character, and I'm gonna go over to these other characters before I get into this one specific scene with White that I want to talk about. Harris Dickinson playing David Von Erich, which is just a tragic. He ripped his intestine and he didn't even know about it, and ended up dying in Japan. What a sad. Damn, that sucks, man. Chavo Guerrero Jr. played the Iron Sheik in this, and he also did the wrestling choreograph stuff with the stars and everything. MJF Maxwell Jacob Friedman from AEW is also an executive producer on this movie and also helped out with a bunch of stuff and actually has a cameo in the movie where you can actually see him. We have Stanley Simmons playing Mike Von Erich, and just a sad thing, like another death. Like the whole family, like they really are. They had just were cursed, man. Just were cursed with everything, and it just sucks. But it's good to see that they've moved past the curse, and they have Marshall and Lee wrestling now, and they're carrying on the Von Erich name, and it's just great to see. And the people who played the Freebirds in this were amazing. The guy who played Harley Race was amazing in this. And now going back to Jeremy Allen White, the scene after he kills himself and Zac Efron's character picks him up and takes him in the house and puts him on the kitchen table. The scene where he walks out and you see he hasn't lost his foot and he's like there, and then they cut to him in the boat. And he takes the coin out and puts the coin next to the thing, which is symbolizing he's paying the ferryman to take him across the River Styx. And then he sees his brothers on the other side, and his brother has the world title over there, and his other brother, Mike, has his guitar. And then he sees his youngest, his actually oldest brother, but he died when he was like 6, and they're all there and they're all together, and it's such a great moment. And I thought about this scene for a long time. I actually didn't think this scene should even been put in the movie because it kind of gives a weird juxtaposition that Kevin's not there, but all his brothers are happy and he's the only one that's not happy. But I also, AJ brought up that it could have been Kevin's dream that this is what happened and everything, which makes it even better because it shows how much he loved and cared for his brothers. And it was just an absolute amazing scene, and it's just brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant. There's so much just in this movie, the wrestling, the sportatorium, that 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s feel is just brilliant. It really takes you into the moment and to their story. I love it. They couldn't have got a better cast to play the Von Erichs. Absolutely perfect casting on all fronts. Where does this lie on my 5-star review scale? The story is a 5. It's such a gripping, great story. Take the wrestling out of it, and it's just a brilliant, brilliant story. The cinematography, a 3.5. The characters, you love the characters. You feel for their tragedy. And you even love Fritz because you hate him. You hate Fritz Von Erich so much in this. And the design I did hit with the 3.5 because it's Texas. It's Texas in that time and just kind of real plain and everything. But the scenes are beautiful, which brings the total to 4.25. Guys, let me know down below. Have you heard the story of the Von Erichs? Have you seen this movie? Have you seen the Dark Side of the Ring episode? Let me know down below, guys. Thank you so very much, and I will see you in our next review. Bye.